You know the word you never say that I'm dying to hear?
What? Oh, roll? We're rolling?
Yeah, typically it's action. It would be nice to hear an action from time to time.
An action verb. Okay, action.
There you go. Hello, welcome to Dirty Updates. It's me, Mike Rowe. It's another episode of C.R.A.P, technically, and according to the whiteboard, Don't Be a Chicken is the title of this particular show, and many of you familiar with Dirty Jobs will now know precisely what I'm going to be talking about. Actually, maybe you don't. Maybe some of you think I'm going to be talking about the turkey episode, or maybe some are going to think I'm talking about the thing we did down in Coyote, Texas that involved turning chickens into compost. But no, we're going to talk specifically about laying hens today because my good friend Clint Hickman invited us out in 2008 to take a look at a hen-laying operation, and it was an extraordinary thing for Clint to do. And I'll show you why.
As the eggs ride up on conveyor belt,
it's a very sophisticated operation they have out here in Arizona.
They're having a nice little ride.
That's Clint.
Over the top and ride on this big long conveyor belt all the way to the plant.
I see. So lots of little conveyor belts all leading into this.
Yes.
Except the egg, big conveyor belt, they go somewhere else.
That's why I've done so well as a serious journalist. I know when to ask the hard questions.
6 times a day these feeders go off, so always
Here's the
fresh
point.
feed.
That would be their poo?
That's their poo, Mike. The poo lands on the conveyor belt.
I have to ask
Clean
that, too.
once a day.
Where's the poo go?
You're about to find out, Mike.
Yes, I'm about to find out. Here's the thing. Guys like Clint have partners. In this case, his partners are his brothers. And they were opposed. Profoundly opposed to the idea of inviting a television crew to their operation. You know why, Kristen?
No.
I'll tell you why. Because farmers, in particular, guys that do what Clint does, very rarely get portrayed fairly on television. It almost never, ever happens. Almost never. And so, Clint was a fan of the show, and he's very proud of his operation, but his brothers were like, look, just don't do it. Don't do it. No, but every time a camera crew comes out here, we wind up taking it right in the neck. And so they were hesitant and reticent, but we nevertheless showed up. And make a long story short, Clint's doing great. The piece was great. Everybody was really pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy to say that Dirty Jobs, gave Hickman Farms a really fair shake. I mean, it wasn't a straight up love letter. We showed the operation exactly as it was. There's controversy in all of this stuff. Humane Society has stuff to say about the size of cages, and all of that was really in the news in a big way back in 2008. But my relationship with Clint actually turned into something really cool because he introduced me to another guy called Chad. And Chad Gregory runs the United Egg Producers. And as it turns out, that put a whole conversation in place that led to me speaking on behalf of the United Egg Producers. And we formed this whole really cool thing, this idea, turned into a PR campaign called Profoundly Disconnected, and I wound up going to the FFA, and a lot of good things happened. Anyhow, Clint's checking in. Hey, Mike, great to hear from you. As you recall, when you came out to visit, we had just built our liquid egg plant. Now an entirely new farm has been built across the street, large feed mill along the railroad tracks where all those coyotes used to live. I remember that. Your visit that day included a story that was never filmed. And he goes on to say some things I'm not going to read. After watching the camera crew that Dave Barsky led tell Mike to go get stuffed and not be willing to drive him to the airport that night, I volunteered to drive him. Truth is, the boys weren't in a condition to drive. You'll recall a fairly deep conversation we had as I drove you back to the Phoenix airport. I told him my personal feelings that farmers are either misunderstood or not understood at all anymore. Mike was willing to meet with our industry group, United Egg Producers. The rest is history. It is. And then he says some very nice things that are simply too kind, too complimentary for me to read out loud. It would sound, Kristen, it would sound forced if I really read all the nice things Clint Hickman said about me. So I won't.
Okay, but you owe him a beer apparently.
He does say P.S., and Mike still owes me a beer, as you can see right down there. So anyhow, that's how Clint's doing. And the reason I wrote Don't Be a Chicken up here is because I'm telling you, we called maybe 40 or 50 operations like Clint's, and they all said no, absolutely no way. But he trusted Dirty Jobs. We did right by him. He did right by us, and then later we did right by each other. Isn't it great when people don't screw you over? I love that. He sent me this shirt. I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to do the same thing with this hat. And you're going to bid on it, hopefully, over at eBay, and the money we raise will go to the MicroWorks Foundation to pay for scholarships in the trades, many of which benefit kids going into the agricultural industry. See how it all comes around, Kristen?
Yeah.
A virtuous cycle. Circle's good too.
Circle, cycle.
If it were a circle, I guess. See, but then you can't have a virtuous square. I mean,
It's kind of chicken and egg, really.
what about a virtuous parallelogram, or say a rhombus? Is there no virtue in a rhombus?
Trapezoid.
The trapezoid is good. Look at you with your Euclidean geometric references. It's not bad for homeschool. Anyway, let's review. Clint Hickman, good man, good friend, great episode of Dirty Jobs, one brave son of a gun. And it makes a fine shirt as well. I'm going to sign them as soon as Kristen says cut, and we'll send them out to you as soon as you overbid. Kristen, have I missed anything?
No, but I'll tell you, it is a little surreal to hear your voice come from my computer and in front of me at the same time.
Really? What's it like for you? Is it exciting?
Yeah.
I have packing station number.
That's not my voice, by the way.
Why do
That's
these
Clint.
things keep opening?
Why do these things keep opening? Daggone it. How's your computer doing compared to your people? Lucy doesn't ask for a whole bunch, like some oil, brake fluid, but she can't put eggs.
So we're packing, what is this?
Say she can't put eggs in her ass?
You're supposed to be packing both of these lines, and
He
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
have said
kind
that.
of step away right now.
Anyhow,
Anyhow, it's just occasionally it's just kind of surreal.
yeah, well, that's what we shoot for. Occasional surreality.
That's weird.
You know what this music means?
They say to make an omelet, you gotta crack a few eggs.
We're out of time.
Maybe my boxes
All right.
are going to omelet lovers.
Maybe my boxes are going to omelet lovers.
Figure.
Figures.
What over there?
What over there? Boy, he laughs real high. I can't laugh that
About
high.
1.1 million eggs are shipped from the farm every 24 hours.
8 minutes, so I should probably
You
hit
know, if that
cut.
gets all the way to the
right?
back, it stops the machine, and then
All right,
everybody
cut.
stops working. That's one packing line.